Okay, this is part two of the Best of the West in Art, Movies, and Music by me, Pete Rogers. We're like on page 6. And again, this book is really sort of a celebration of the achievements of Western civilization, the greatest civilization that ever existed by far. People don't even understand how great it is. They've sort of, it's been hidden from you. You know, most kids, they go to public school, they really don't learn anything, and then they come out of that not knowing almost anything. So this is your heritage. I'm sharing it with you. The future of mankind depends on whether or not we view whether man is created in the image of God, therefore a part divine and entitled to individual rights, or we go with atheistic Darwinism. He is just an ape who talks. If you say he's an ape who talks, we're headed towards slavery. If you say he's, part divine and deserves individual rights, then we're headed towards a new golden age. And it's not clear which one we're going to head towards. The billionaires, they want slavery. The individual usually is an ignoramus, doesn't know anything, but the few that read and learn and think and know something, it's obvious. That's a better deal. Okay, what painting best symbolizes the shared heritage of Christianity with the ancient Greeks and the Romans? It's the School of Athens by Raphael, done in 1511. It's magnificent. And so basically what it primarily shows is Greek scholars, Greek philosophers, engineers like Archimedes. There's Diogenes, the homeless philosopher. There's Socrates debating with Alcibiades and some other young men. There is Aristotle saying, let us focus on the here and now down here on earth, and Plato focusing up to the sky with his idea of the perfect forms, the mystic, Platonism, Platonic Christianity, Platonic love. Okay, Raphael sitting there in the picture. Anyways, a lot of these ideas, too, came from the scholars that the Medicis funded to study with them in Renaissance Italy, like Marsilio Ficino and Pico della Mirandola, who were trying to unify the best aspect of the ancient Greeks, the ancient Romans, and the Bible and Christianity with the current age. And the relevance of that is Christianity is syncretic. Syncretic means like a synthesis, to combine things. And Christianity is really good at that, taking what's best of a previous culture and adding that to itself. That's ideal. That's how it should be. Why not keep on adding up the knowledge of the world as it accumulates? All right, so anyways, you have primarily Greek scholars, philosophers in the background of Roman architecture. And this is inside the Vatican in the Stanza Signatura, the signature room. And so this is the idea, too, that the Roman Catholic Church was totally comfortable with the history of the ancients. We call that the ancients' humanities, the Greeks and the Romans, okay? And those are sort of like the three prongs that it stands on: the ancient Greeks, the ancient Romans, and the Bible, okay, the Old Testament. All right, so anyways, this is one of the most magnificent paintings of all time. This is called the high water mark of the Renaissance, the High Renaissance, okay? So this background behind me is the same painting, the School of Athens by Raphael. The summit of civilization, as described by Kenneth Clark in his book, Civilization. Okay, what's the most inspiring movie for creativity? Amadeus. Have you ever seen it? It's the best movie for motivating somebody to be creative. Amadeus, the actor, he was perfect. Okay, and the actor playing Salieri, he was perfect too. It's just a magnificent movie, and the music is great. This is Amadeus conducting one of those things. It truly is a magnificent movie. One of my favorite movies I've ever seen of all time. And young people should see things like that. You want to expose young people to a lot of great heroes of the past because it inspires them that they could try to do something better. They go to school and what do they see? Endless crap and BS. It's a waste of time. I was always looking out the window when I was in grade school. It was so painful to sit there and listen to some lady going blah, 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 talking about a bunch of irrelevant nonsense. Okay, it was really painful. The school's designed to make you stupid, okay? So then when you come and you see somebody like Mozart and Amadeus, it's magnificent. And it's like, wow, life can be great. People can do great things. So you want to show them as many great things as you can of their ancestors to, motivate the child to want to aspire to something for themselves. Serenade for the Winds is sort of the most beautiful song. There was Nuestra Perdona, I forget the name, Forgiveness, great song. The John Giovanni Requiem Mass, it's all great. Okay, here is what's the best history book in terms of history of the West. I would say it's How the Catholic Church Built Western Civilization by Thomas Woods. I made a detailed book review of that just a couple weeks ago, so you can find that pretty easily. Just type in Thomas Woods into the little search icon and you'll get it. And so he did a magnificent thing. And so you say, well, what's the point of me doing anything myself? Well, I'm a lot more pictorial than he is, okay? He's a scholarly historian, economics guy, Austrian economics and all that stuff. But he doesn't do that much for pictures, okay? This book, as you can see already, is full of pictures. So the pictures stay in your brain a lot better than the words. Yeah, you need the words. But anyways, it's a great book. You can get an audio CD, listen to it in the car. You can read the book as well. It's great either way. And there is a video series about it that I linked to in my other talk that's good. But again, it's mostly going to be him talking. Okay, what's the best 1800s painting of a scene from the Gospels? The Sermon on the Mount by Carl Bloch, 1877. So Carl Bloch illustrated, made numerous paintings of the life of Christ, the ministry years, and they're great. Overall, he's the best of the Life of Christ painters. Don't get me wrong. There's other painters who have absolute masterpieces that are better than Carl Bloch. But in terms of numerous great paintings on the Life of Christ, he's the best one. James Tissot also has lots of good ones, but I'd give the nod to Carl Bloch a little bit on artistic beauty of his paintings. You know, done in the 1800s. The 1800s was the Belle Epoque, the beautiful epic era, and their paintings are magnificent. Sermon on the Mount. That what you do to least of my brethren, you do unto me. Be nice to everybody. Christianity is the only thing that can unify the world. The idea of Christian ethics that, you know, people don't need to be Christians, but they should have a Christian ethics if the world's ever going to be happy and unified and at peace. Like Albert Toynbee said, the brotherhood of man is dependent on the fatherhood of God. So I wish we could solve all that. Amazing Grace, sung by Judy Collins, Irish-American singer. It's the best Christian song of all time ever. It's like perfect. It's so beautiful. Okay. Okay, best Old Testament painting and the secret of health is, oops, shit, I didn't mean to do that. Move the painting there. The best painting is Adam and Eve by Jan Bruegel and Peter Paul Rubens. That's magnificent. And then why is that the secret of health? Keep your indoor heating and plumbing, but other than that, live like Adam and Eve. Get your sunshine, get your exercise, eat plant foods, Genesis 1:29. These plants I put on earth shall be food for you. Okay, that's the secret of health. That's more important than all this high-tech stuff like Dr. McDougall said. Eventually, they'll eat a starch-based diet. There's no large population that's fruitarian. But it's beautiful. It's my favorite of the Adam and Eve paintings. There's a whole bunch of good ones, but this is the best one. Okay, it's a secret of extended health. Because, you know, what are we designed for? We're designed to walk around in extended family groups looking for something to eat, okay, helping each other. Eating 100% organic whole foods, because there's so many toxic chemicals in these non-organic foods. You really don't want them. You know, atrazine is the big thing sprayed on corn, but not to mention just the corn. The corn itself is often sprayed with pesticides that are mitochondrial inhibitors. Not good. The soy is sprayed with pesticides that are mitochondrial inhibitors, both glyphosate and other chemicals. Okay, soy itself is intrinsically toxic. I wouldn't eat it even if it was organic, because it lowers your testosterone, lowers your sperm count, can potentially have a detrimental effect on the female reproductive tract. It's not clear exactly how much it activates both of the estrogenic receptors. It's off the charts estrogenic. Okay, it's goitrogenic. It's a loser. You don't want it. Okay, let's see what's next. Deuteronomy. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments and the statutes and judgments which command thee this day to do them. If ye hearken to these judgments and keep and do them, then the Lord God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he swore unto thy fathers. And he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb and the fruit of thy land, thy corn and thy wine, thy increase of kin, the flocks of thy sheep. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you or among your cattle. And the Lord will take away from thee all the sickness, and will put none of these evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon those that hate thee. So basically what he's saying is, do what God says, and he'll heal you and protect you from disease. And so basically that's God's way. Low fat, low sodium, vegan with no oil, single ingredient foods, organic only. That's the key to being healthy. I'm telling you, that's more powerful than all the fancy high-tech stuff. You know, eat a starch-based, plant-based diet. Okay? Those are the healthiest people in the world. That's valuable knowledge. I'm telling you, if you do that, you won't get hypertension, diabetes type 2, then you won't get atherosclerosis, and those are the main diseases that make people sick. Okay, now this is a painting. What's the best art gallery painting? This one's called the Tribuna Art Gallery at the Uffizi, the Italian Art Museum, by Johann Zoffani, 1778. So So it's a rather spectacular, beautiful painting. And then there's a little joke here. It says, how can you tell that this is a Christian painting? And the answer is because it has paintings and sculptures, and the people love it. Christianity is the only culture that's really big on painting and art. Other cultures, occasionally here and there they'll produce somebody who's good, but not much. I've looked and I can't find it. I found a few modern artists that are not Christian that are really pretty talented. The Japanese are good with manga, okay, but in general, not much. And so, I sometimes joke. I'll say, well, look at that. If you look at a caveman in a cave will paint something on the wall, okay. And why won't these other cultures paint more paintings? It's kind of barbaric not to be more into art compared to Christianity. Christianity's produced all this beautiful stuff. That's where it comes from. Because Christianity loves the family, okay? Christianity loves, all the saints, all the sculptures, all the cathedrals. It's one beautiful thing after another. It's great. And no other culture is like that. There's not a single one that produces all this stuff. A lot of them have what I would consider a Philistine mentality. Because you could say to yourself, why waste your time making these beautiful paintings and beautiful sculptures? How much money are you going to make from that? And if that's how you think, then you're not going to create the art. But if you say to yourself, well, gee, what a pleasure it is. God the Creator, I'm created in His image. I could also create beautiful things. Let me see what I can do. Then you want to go for it. Okay? And that's one of the great things about Christianity. Aesthetically, it's light years ahead of everything else. Okay, what's the best nutrition book ever written? Starch Solution by Dr. McDougall. You eat a starch-based, plant-based diet, you don't get the common Western diseases. What's the best philosophy book ever written? The Light in the Cave by Arthur Herman. That's the best one, contrasting the influence of Plato and Aristotle. Basically, Plato's kind of supported a Sparta-type view because he saw that they had defeated Athens, but I don't like that. It's too collectivist. It's sort of anti-individualistic, versus Aristotle was much more of an individualist, and individual rights he promoted, and that's what leads to freedom and happiness. And that's why the Bible, man created in the image of God, goes with that too, that the individual himself is special. So anyways, that's all for today. I hope you found it helpful.